So this is some kind of breaking news here, and it's actually pretty scary stuff. But basically, what happened was this guy Christopher Krebs. He is the top cybersecurity official, and he was the guy who had the quote of basically saying this was the safest election in all of history or something like that. Basically saying there was not really any fraud going on. Obviously, Donnie doesn't like that, so he fired him. He literally fired him, dude. Um, so this article reads, President Trump announced on Twitter on Tuesday night that he was firing top cybersecurity official Christopher Krebs, whose agency recently issued a statement that the 2020 presidential election was secure. Until now, Krebs was the director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency within the Department of Homeland Security. Mr. Trump claimed falsely and with no evidence that a statement from Krebs's CISA calling the 2020 election the most secure in history was, quote, highly inaccurate. Mr. Trump's legal team has failed thus far to present credible evidence of mass fraud, and Joe Biden is president-elect. Those are true things. Quote, the recent statement by Chris Krebs on the security of the 2020 election was highly inaccurate, and that there are mass improprieties and fraud, including dead people voting. That's false. Poll watchers not allowed into polling locations. That's false. Glitches in the voting machines which changed votes from Trump to Biden. Super false. Late voting. Very false. And many more. False. President tweeted, therefore, effective immediately, Chris Krebs has been terminated as Director of Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. So basically, I mean, he's basically going off on him. He took over the role in November of 2018, by the way. So, he took him out because he disagreed with him, essentially, which is pretty scary stuff, honestly. I mean, these people are, that's a very credible statement that it was a, secure election, that there was no, fraud going on, especially no mass fraud. Certainly that there's no evidence of any of the claims that Trump is doing, but anybody who essentially dares to disagree with President Trump is going to get fired. They're wrong. They're going to lose their job, all of that kind of crazy stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's getting rid of a bunch of Pentagon people right now as well. Could be because of him wanting to attack Iran, but him being persuaded into not doing so. So, there's a lot of stuff going on with that, a lot of mass firings going on by Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, it's really worrisome that basically anybody who disagrees with him and is factually correct is going to get fired by him. So when Christopher Krebs says, this is a very secure election, there wasn't really any fraud, which is true, it's fact, right? If Donnie disagrees with you, you're going to get fired. So it's actually pretty crazy stuff to see. But a bit unnerving and definitely, certainly, a little bit worrying, no doubt, for sure.